Good morning.
Good morning. The star is here.
Why didn't my camera turn on?
I don't know. There you go.
Yeah, and it's the right one.
Yeah, you look good. Like the background?
Of course.
Color's good. Yep.
How are things with you? Having fun?
Yes, I'm about to go on a doggy walk. Take the dog out for a walk, then make breakfast. But no, it's settling in. Life's settling in to to sort of how will I put it? A dull roar sort of thing. You know, everyone's sort of figured out what they want, and so on and so forth. Like Jennifer's not going to be here for dinner tonight, so they're going out. So we have dinner by ourselves. So and this week on Wednesday, I told you the other house next door is rented, right? And the in-laws are all arriving on Wednesday. So, you know, and that will be they'll you know, there'll be lots of activity that you know, so things will spread out, and it won't all it'll work out. And then Dave, Jennifer's husband, is back on Wednesday. He's also coming back. So yeah, it's all fine. You know, it's good. And I don't feel too stressed out about it, and I'm actually having some fun with it, and I think I'll have lots of time to do the show. I think life will be okay. Yeah, I think I can do it. I can do it, Hewie. I can do it. I get up every morning and say, I can do it.
I have to do the same thing.
Yes,
I've got a real busy week going.
Oh yeah. There you go. Well, you've got now for next week. You've got what, 12 minutes, you said?
13.
13. Okay. And it's on, what's the title?
Uncrop.
Uncrop. Okay.
Or uncropping.
And I think that, and then I think the geeks will have something as well.
Yeah, she sent something out this morning.
I saw that.
She's all set and it's recorded. Yeah. She's got 10 minutes. Yeah.
10 minutes. So that'll be next week. So that's 23. And so that's almost. That's fine. I'll get that. And I saw their podcast. I saw her note about their podcast this morning. Yeah, I mean, I think it's all good.
She's excited about it. That's good.
Yeah. Now I asked her, I said, well, what do you mean by podcasting? Is she just going to use, you know, there's a big difference between Spotify and YouTube podcasts. YouTube podcasts don't go out on the podcast networks. YouTube podcasts just are, you can see them on YouTube app on your phone. And in fact, it was originally, you could only see them on the YouTube Music app in the United States. All right. So it is a very limited, it's not the same thing as podcasts as Spotify goes, or what Bob does, or what we did in the past. That's not what YouTube podcasting is.
Yeah, I'm not sure what she's doing and what she's talking about.
So I'm not sure if she's, and it does have a little bit of a, you know, I think what she's, and we podcast all the time now on YouTube, because I take our show and because all you have to do is save it to the podcast playlist. That's it. I mean, that's that's all you got to do, right? Bingo. So, but the point is if you search on Spotify or you search on your podcast app, you won't find it, right? You won't find YouTube podcasts, right? They're not there because it's not part of this podcast network. So it depends on what they're going to do. I don't know what their plans are. And I don't know if the other thing I don't know is if they're going to, I don't know if they're going to use the material they create for our show on their show as well. I don't know how much this overlay is going to play. But anyway, did you read the newsletter? Did you see I gave them a little blurb in the newsletter?
Yeah, I saw that was,
Yeah. So I'll put that in. And I'm going to link, did you see the show on Sunday? Did you see their show on Sunday?
Part of it. Yeah, I got a long distance call, and of course, all calls are long distance these days, right. But I got a call from my friend from California, and I ended up talking to her through almost all of it.
Right. But it was a great show, and it answered that question is if you have email from other like Outlook and AOL, how do you run it through Gmail, right? And she answered those questions. It's really well done. And
Yeah.
it's going to be a great reference. I'm going to put that in our next Saturday newsletter, even though it wasn't on our show. Because they're going to be part of us now. I'm going to keep that as a regular feature on our Saturday. And then I'm going to link that back to their show and say, hey, this is really good stuff. You should watch this. And that'll give them a big boost for their channel and their show as well.
Yeah.
I think that's what we do. All right.
The YouTube, I see you've already gone live.
It's already
with
going. So it's all on. I will make you a host. So you are now the host. You are in charge. So you should be the host.
Okay, and let me just see on the YouTube. I'm the host, live on YouTube. And I guess I can stop that. Yeah. Well, that's the recording. And I'm not sure. I guess I click the live and it goes away. I don't want to click it. Oh, yeah, it's stop. Okay. Yeah, there's a stop button there. Okay, so I can end it. Yep.
Okay. So it's recording and it's unlisted right now. So there's nobody watching it, right? So I will make it listed around 1:45 or after half the hour.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So you don't have to come back on
make
to
it
do
listed.
that.
Yeah, I'll just make it available to everyone.
Okay. I'm all set for today.
Yep, looked good. It looked good.
It's going to be probably a couple of minutes long, but that's okay.
No problem. You're going to get the Learning Chromebook ones out, eh?
Yes, I've been swamped, and then I had to take some Hewie time too. So
okay, all right.
But I got some company coming in Sunday from California, and I don't know how long I don't even know if she's going to stay here. She's thinking of moving back to Florida. She's going to move somewhere. She doesn't know where, but probably up in the Pensacola area, which is where she is right now. But she's going to come down here and we'll spend some time, but I don't know what her plans are when she gets here. So she may be staying with me. She may be not. I don't know. And a longtime friend. Yeah. She's been living
Well,
I haven't seen her in about 10 or 15 years. So.
Well, you shouldn't have much work for next. You've got it all done, so I'll do the show next week.
Yeah, but this week I'm swamped. I got 2 forums for Stug. I have a APCUG, and then we also have a Stug meetup.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, and then next week is the Stug meeting, so I got to get things ready to get my newsletter out. And and I guess a week from Sunday will be, whoops, where's the calendar here? A week from Sunday will be the second Sunday. So the end of next week, I'll have the WinSig on top of it. So next week, I will have the WinSig and the Stug meeting in the same week.
You're a popular guy.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Well, I'm going to leave you. I got to go do a dog walk, and then I will be and I'll get the video later on, and it's being recorded, and then I'll put it up as usual.
Okay.
And then I'll see you on Thursday.
Yep, I'll probably be here.
All right. So your host, you're okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're good. Okay. Do you like I changed my lighting around. Do you see the highlight? There's a light at the back now. Do you like that, or does it look?
It looks good.
I
don't see the difference, but it does look good.
All right. Okay. All right. Talk soon.
Bye.
Good morning, Hewie.
Good morning.
How are you?
Oh, just peachy keen. Busy. How are you doing today?
Good. Better than yesterday.
What was yesterday?
Low glycemic episode.
Mm.
Really low. You wrecked the whole day. It was a good thing we didn't have the meeting yesterday.
Does that wear you out? Or is it?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it knocks the crap out of you.
Ron's been and gone. So
Hmm.
we got a full day today. I'm gonna have to cut mine intro short, and we're still gonna run over.
Move myself around so I'm in the center. That's the nice thing with the
Yeah. I just slide it across the top. I got 3 cameras sitting up there right now, and then the center cam sitting on the desk.
my center cam is slid all the way over to the very, very edge. Otherwise, and I have not used it in I don't know how long.
I love it, except for the fact that it blocks some things that I need to
Correct.
read.
Yep.
Even as thin as it is, it's still enough to cause issues. And I really like the new camera I got, but it only does 120 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I do that, you switch cameras here.
Yeah, my Nexigo is still my camera that I rely on all the time. So
I like the camera. But this is area that's not covered by my box, and my box is right here.
Yeah.
So then I can't do it, and then I'd have to move
and you have that thing in the way. Yep.
Yeah. Because of the because of the width. There is a way within video settings I can turn HD off, but I don't think it's not as good a picture.
Also, it doesn't do anything. You still have that microphone taken up.
Well, yeah, well, I would move it over.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't be in the
and then all you've done is make the picture smaller. You have a bigger border.
Yeah. So let me change back to the 920. And the other camera I think they're going to send me, it's a desk camera with a speaker and everything in it. It's a really nice one, but it's also 120 degrees, and I don't. But I think it may have a remote, so I might be able to do some things with that. I don't know. It's something I need to check with them.
What I don't like about desk ones is they always wind up looking up at you, which means up your nose, and that's.
Yeah, well, this one sits.
Oh, okay.
is about that high, and the camera's at the top. So if I put it, but again, it's going to be blocking part of my screen.
Yep.
And more so than the other.
Yep. Yeah, because it's much wider.
Here comes Ray.
Yep. He's here. Well, there he
is.
He is.
Hi. Okay.
Hey, Ray.
Good morning, everyone. I choose. That's small. I got.
Yep. Now you're in your living room.
Yes.
Yep.
How's everybody doing this morning?
Wonderful. Yeah, Mike's out there now too.
Yeah, I see him.
Hmm. Ah,
Hello, Mike.
Yeah, he's still, there he comes.
Is it me or is it you guys? I've got full video on the current speaker.
I'm not sure what you meant by that.
Instead of the
Yeah, not
grid,
either.
oh, now let me go to grid gallery. That's why. Okay, now I got it.
Good.
It's me.
It's you.
Technologically challenged sometimes.
I doubt that highly.
Ray, did you get my email this morning?
Yes, and I've been using that maybe as long as you, if not longer. I even said in my message, I do download. So that's the program I use. So I'm very familiar with it.
Yep. Okay.
I watched a video this morning, early this morning, of a lady from Australia or New Zealand. And she was only talking about free AI services. And she said she looked at 118 of them, and then she talked about just a few of her favorites. And I spent the time and listed all of them without links, because she never made a link of them, because in her information below, she's pushing what she sells.
Hmm.
She didn't really list them all, but I made a list in text form of the names of them. And Mike, you probably want a copy of that. And I know, Bob, you probably would like that. It's just a text file, and it does so. The only link in there is the link to the video, but you'll see all of the names of the items and what they do.
I get
Are
overwhelmed.
they free or paid?
They're all free.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I'm interested.
I get overwhelmed just by looking at the Ben's Bites every day.
Absolutely.
Hewie and I were working on a project, a short-term project to squeeze in between, but I was asking, is there an AI that will go to a website and then summarize what's on that web page that it's looking at? So eventually we got to Bing, and Bing attempted to do it, but didn't do it well. It was a website by Car and Driver listing about 45 different vehicles available, EVs that are available for sale in 2023. And I wanted to try to summarize that to use in my next presentation. And then we found that we could paste in the link into Google Bard. And it gave a very nice presentation, even put it into a table. Then we found out that Bard lied.
Mhm.
It added some additional vehicles that weren't
Yep.
on the article.
Yep.
Wow.
It
And
changed-
swears to them.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it changed the prices
Uh-huh.
because the web page had the MSRPs. It changed the prices.
Did it lower them or higher them?
Some were lower, some were higher.
Wow.
It's
My
just-
my series on small town USA. Oh, there were some really nice towns. I never heard of them. Neither did anybody else. But it had such a fabulous write-up of the town with historical information and all kinds of stuff. And when you start doing your fact checks, there's nobody could give me any information on the towns. No pictures, no images, no write-ups, none of the facts checked out. It turns out it made everything up, including links to images.
maybe it has a access to an alternate dimension and dimension.
Yeah.
And things are
You're
just slightly
onto something, Mike. You're onto something.
What's scary is so many businesses are utilizing
Yep.
AI.
Yep. Question is, how many of them actually fact check, or do they just
Yeah.
post what it gives them and said, hey, this sounds really good? Yeah, right.
One of the newsletters it could have been Ben's Bites, but I forget two others. One of the newsletters actually had an AI that's supposed to do fact checking.
Correct.
So, but how does an AI fact check another AI? You know, and then how do you know that it's giving you the right fact check?
Only if it's giving you links and you can actually verify those links.
Yeah.
Good morning, Bill. Long time no see.
Hello, Bill.
Morning, how are you?
Good.
I'm intrigued with your conversation.
Well, I started it off before you joined by saying that you and I were looking for an AI that would go to a web page and summarize the web page for you, especially some of the longer ones. And
Yeah.
we couldn't actually find, well, I think you did, Hewie. You said that
Yep.
that there was one that you automatically load each time you start your Chrome.
Well, there
But-
used to
Yeah.
be something, called a web crawler. I'm surprised they haven't integrated AI into that, which would do exactly what you wanted.
I remember that. Yeah. I wonder if it's still around.
That's a blast from the past.
You
Yeah.
see my
Well, the one-
challenge? See my challenge to Elon and Mark?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
gonna fight them too now? All right.
I take it that was AI generated.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But yeah, Mike, the crawler, I think you put in something in the search criteria and would go through the websites and
Well,
pull
that's
out
what Google does.
information.
That's how Google has a crawler. That's how it gets their information for their database. For
Well, I
the,
wonder why it couldn't do the thing on the cars.
well,
Well,
this was actually from an article.
Oh.
And all the information we were trying to scrape an article.
I
And
see.
I found one. It looks like it will do it, but it only got 2 of them of the 43. And so I sent a note to them, and I got an answer back this morning on a way around that, Mike. And I'm going to have to try in the next couple of days. It's another thing that they've got in beta to test, and I'll see if it works. Because that looks like it may do what we want to do.
what I like
Yeah.
what I liked about Bard was the fact that now it offers to create a spreadsheet. If you ask Bard to give you a table, and that's the
Oh.
key, use the term table. Give me a table of such and so. And then it gives you a table. You can describe the columns that you want. And then it'll give you that table, whether it's right or wrong, you still have to check. But
Yeah,
then
you have to check it.
at the bottom, it'll say export to sheets. Now you yourself can go in there and sort it the way you want, because if you say, give me a table sorted by such and so and calculate the percentage of each one, the math is all messed up. I mean, the math is wrong, the sorting order is wrong. Bard just can't handle those kinds of processes, at least the current version.
Mike, now the one thing you put in for the price was MSRP, and we really
price.
want the base price, and I wonder if that's why the numbers were wrong.
Could be.
That if you go in and do the same prompt, but instead of saying MSRP, say base price, and see if it corrects the ones that are wrong.
And I don't recall what I actually did. I mean, in my mind, I'm saying MSRP, but you're right.
Well, you definitely said MSRP.
Okay. Yeah, but it put.
Bill, are you doing anything with AI, Bill?
Only writing.
Okay.
I'm
Because-
using only for writing.
Because I told Mike and Bob, because I know they're interested. I watched a video this morning on all free AI stuff. She had 118 different free services that do all kinds of things. She explains what they do, but she doesn't really give a link to them. She just gives the names of them. But I have also the link to the video. I'm going to send them a copy. If you're interested, I'll send you a copy. It's just a
Yeah,
text
please
file.
do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
And Ray, are
only,
you interested at all, or?
Yes, I mean, I use AI.com every week for my music presentation. But I always, and you'll see today, I always give credit. This is where I got it from.
Yeah.
So if there is, because I don't fact check it. If there's a mistake in there, it's from that source, not from me.
I use
Because-
open GPT is kind of my exclusive AI tool, and I use it mostly. I use it all for just writing. I will have it clarify paragraphs that I write, or rewrite a paragraph that I write, or something like that. That's the only way I use it. And I've got pretty good results out of that. Sometimes I don't like, sometimes the words are a little stilted. I have to go in and tone that down a bit.
Yeah, I use Perplexity AI.
Yeah, that's the one I'm using.
I use Bard.
Almost exclusive.
I use Bing. And I use
Yeah,
Hugging
Hugging Face.
Yeah.
Mm.
Those are the ones that I use. And if something comes up on all four of them, I am pretty sure it's correct. If it comes up on one of them, but not on the other three, I'm also pretty sure, hey, you just told a fib. And then I start digging a little bit further, and just to confirm, hey, this is not real.
Yeah,
But
I don't use.
if all
I don't
four
use
have
it.
the same information, I'm pretty darn sure. I'll check a couple of things, but all four confirm the same thing. I don't
Yeah.
think all four would lie with the exact same information.
Yeah, I don't use it for any research, just for writing. I started some stories, I don't know how many years ago, and they're just kind of all in draft form, and I've been working on those, but I've been using AI to help me with that. And it's really added to the storyline, so I've been pretty pleased. So one of these days I'll get it all done. It's just a side project.
Tonight is my own club's a little meeting, and so I'm going to talk to them about DALL-E 2 now, DALL-E 2. I've only started to use that. To me, I look at that as fun. I'm not sure I've determined any really useful purpose yet, but
That's the drawing tool, right?
right,
Yeah.
it converts text to image.
Yep.
Bob, you had sent me, well, I guess we're going to be opening it up here shortly, but you had sent me a link to a medical AI. And
Yeah, which I sent to Hewie, I think.
And I started using that each time I would submit something to Bard, usually is where I start. I turn around and then paste the same inquiry into the medical. The medical one's quite limited. It really only wants to focus in on a specific disease or a specific, say, drug or something along those lines, where Bard will kind of give you a lot more surrounding information, where the other one will say, hey, I'm only a language model. And the specialists and the diagnosticians keep finding all these things that I'm not happy about them finding. So at least I can figure out what all the complex medical verbiage.
Yeah, what they actually mean.
Mike, any more updates on your car?
On this one, the Fisker?
Yes.
A Fisker just flew 24 Ocean Ones. That's an Ocean off the assembly line. The first 500 are all called Ocean Ones.
I'll be back in a minute.
Via jumbo jet to Los Angeles for delivery. So those are the first 24 to be delivered in the United States.
Pretty expensive doing it that way.
Well, the Ocean One, oh yeah, but they're not charging the customers extra for the freight. That was Heinrich Fisker picked up the cost for doing that, but he wanted them here so he could say that he was delivering them in June. And then some of them,
that's right.
Some of them were being used at their experience centers around the country, mostly on the West Coast right now.
Have you taken a look at the new Volvo XC30? Yeah, EX30, which is about the same size as that car, right?
A little smaller, and that's the EX30 is about the size of my Kia Niro. The one that you're looking at is the Fisker Ocean. That's about the size of a Nissan Murano or a Hyundai Santa Fe. Yeah.
Okay.
It's medium size. So I'm hanging on for the pair, which is about the size of my Kia, unless, or maybe smaller, and it will also be manufactured in 24, 25 in the United States, and Foxconn's building a battery factory in the same location. So that's going to allow a full $7,500 tax credit.
Now, the Volvo is using two different batteries. I haven't heard those terms before.
Yes.
Good
One
morning,
is a-
everyone. If you're just joining us, this is the chat half hour. So if you've got something to add, if you want to say hello, if you're brand new, Huey's back with us. Take it over.
Yes.
Huey.
All right. Yes, by all means. I don't see anybody new, so I won't use that statement, but we're glad you're here. If you want to make a comment, you want to ask a question, this is a good time to do it, or in the Q&A at the end.
Mike, another question for you. Will you cover those different battery types in one of your presentations?
Yes, I do. There's a lot has happened, but it's been almost 6 months since we talked batteries. And even in that time, more advanced methods of manufacturing, the lithium ion are out, more efficient use of the chemicals, safer packaging, as well as more development on the sodium instead of lithium. So Fisker in their top level oceans, although not the current ones, but in their top level oceans to be produced later this year, will have a different battery type that's supposed to be more efficient. And as I understand it, while they were in China, they cut a deal with the NIO manufacturing folks, which NIO isn't available here, but it's in Europe and Scandinavia. And NIO produces the battery exchange system that was in one of my presentations, where you literally drive into a facility that looks like an oil change facility, press a button on your dashboard, hit your credit card on it or whatever it is, sit there for 15 minutes, and your entire battery system is swapped out with a brand new fully charged battery.
Wasn't Tesla doing that for a while? Have they discontinued doing that?
Right. They decided it wasn't feasible in the quantity that they're doing.
Okay.
But apparently Fisker plans that capability anyway in the 2025 models and beyond. Just have to see if it comes to fruition.
Again, those that are joining us, welcome. This is the chat or social time before we start. We start on the hour, and we will go for an hour, and then we'll have Q&A. And then on the following half hour, we'll have the premiere, and I will put the premiere in the chat now, and I'll do it again later, but that way it'll be in and I don't have to worry about finding it again.
And has just joined us.
Marcia got an invitation to the pre-chat, didn't she? As one of our presenters. Hewie?
Yeah. I don't know what time she'll be here, but she said she will be on.
I didn't see her.
Well, good morning, all.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Greg. How are you?
Well, I don't know. We just came back from vacation and both of us have got the punies.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
So being an ex-fireman, my lungs are damaged. And boy, when I get sick, man, I really get sick. And so the doctor gave me some medicine, but it doesn't seem to be working.
Just be careful. Where did you vacation? Where did you vacation?
Went to Reno and gambled.
Okay.
You know,
Did
once
you
you
come
get
out
that,
ahead?
I do. I took a class from a professional dice thrower about 15 years ago down in Vegas. I had a 6-hour stop, so I got a hold of him, dicecoach.com. He used to be the director of public service for LA City and County Public Works. And since then, he showed me how to hold the dice and throw them. I can throw those puppies between 28 to 35 times without 7 and out.
Oh, wow.
And on a $5 bet, he showed me how to press the money and how to do the whole 9 yards. I'm 85K up.
All right.
And so when I went down there, we just kind of I threw while standing in line to go in to have dinner. And I think I won $800. Paid for
Oh my
our dinner.
gosh.
Paid for our dinner and a couple of tips and you know, a few cranks on the slot machine for my wife. So, you know, you get the greed, boy, and you just can't leave.
My wife and I got hooked by the slot machine channels that are on YouTube. They're actual people that are allowed in the casinos to set up a camera on a tripod. And they've got major followings of people that watch them. So you can watch the slot machines and see how they lose, how they win, whatever. And I learned one of the techniques, which, you know, slot machines are basically random and then a program to make sure there's a certain payout.
Not true.
Well, anyway, that's a whole presentation. But the point of my anecdote is that I took my son to dinner at one of the Iowa casinos when we visited them 3 months ago. And we just said, all right, let's just go in and play some slots. So one of the techniques is to take $100, break it up into 5 $20 sessions. Just place, you know, just play a $20 bill in one of these crazy machines. And most of the slot machines these days are basically advanced gaming devices. You know, very few of the reels themselves, real slot machines. And on my third machine, I hit $2,400 jackpot.
Wow.
And it was an 88-cent bet.
You know, I'm from that Reno area. So maybe 20 years ago, we got invited by a croupier, a raker on the crap table, over to his house, and he had 8 or 10 of the casino employees with their wives over there, and they had a big spread. And I talked to this guy who was a mechanic that worked on the slot machines, and he said that all slot machines have to meet the state regulation. And what they do in Nevada is they tighten up the games, especially on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, from noon until 3 o'clock in the morning. And then from 4 o'clock until about 7, they really get the odds so that they can adjust to meet the criteria of what the state wanted over Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Does that make sense?
Well, what do you mean when you say tighten up?
Well, they have a computer program that only allows, let's just say that the state of Nevada wants 35% winners. And that means like you put a quarter in a machine, you get a quarter back. That doesn't mean like $2,500 like Mike got. But what they do, they make those odds in such a way that they're tightened up on the weekends. And then allowing the next morning, like Saturday morning would be Sunday morning, or Saturday night would be Sunday morning. At 4 o'clock, they open those things back up to maintain the odds for that whole week.
When you say
Yes.
tighten up, are you saying that they aren't paying out as much, or they're paying out?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
You'll
Okay.
go in and you'll see a bank of machines and on that, or even the casino advertising, and it'll say guaranteed 98% payout. And you figure, oh, all right, so 98% of my money's coming back to me. I'm only going to lose 2%. But that's not counting the fact you might put $1,000 into the machine and lose all $1,000 and say, well, wait a minute, I thought I was supposed to get 98% of my money back. No, the next guy that comes and hits a jackpot gets your money. You know, it's as simple as that. And there's the payout. So the machines these days, though, are getting extremely sophisticated. There's a lot less of mechanical machines, and even the mechanical machines have programs running them. And the
Well,
vast majority look like video games.
the guy, absolutely, the guy in Nevada and Reno, he told me that that the way that the odds are set up, the way that the slot machines tighten itself up and doesn't make a payoff, it kind of will pay you a little bit, and you keep chasing it, and you just never can get it. Anyway, he said that the odds are between 3,200 to 3,500. Now, the roulette wheel is, because of the O, that's a 33 to 1. But if they have a double O, that's 64 to 1. Now, when you throw craps, it's 7 to 1. Those are the best odds on the valley.
As far as I'm concerned, all that gambling is just crap.
Well, it is. At least I got hair and I gamble.
Oh, oh my.
I
No,
used to be-
it's an individual thing, whether you're going to participate or not.
I used
Now-
to be a stock trader, and
I do.
for
I
about,
do.
well, I was a day trader by profession for about 5 years. And I helped develop a whole series of trading strategies using the platform called TradeStation. And I became a TradeStation consultant, and I would teach TradeStation, and I would go in and help people that wanted to learn to train, to use it to trade. And it wasn't until about late in the 5th year that I realized that the trading platform itself in its code had flaws in the way it was backtesting. And you could sit and backtest a whole series of theories, of technical theories, and think, boy, this is really going to make me money. Well, it made me some money, but it didn't do like the backtesting said. And eventually I found what the flaws were, which would be a whole presentation. But
So
I
Mike,
called it-
I trade options and I pay a company Vantage Point. I bought their program, paid $4,000 for it, and they give me what the future is going to be in the next 3 days on these things. And they say they're 82% accurate, and I found that they're about 87% accurate. And I've got in my account, I've got quite a bit of bucks in there.
I'm glad that you found a platform, because I
There are
stopped doing
folks-
this in the late 90s, but
There are folks that are now using AI to do their.
yeah.
Well, that's all this logarithms are, is AI
Yeah.
geared. Yeah, anyway, it's a happy life here.
Good.
Right now, I've been playing that market way back since the 60s.
Yeah.
And I played commodities, and boy, I had my lunch ate. I'll just tell you a real quick story. I bought a warrant, and I bought 100 contracts of a warrant, and that gave me 16 carloads of corn. And it expired, and I owned the corn. And the railroad was charging me like $350 a day for each car. And what the hell is going on here? So I ended up calling my broker. He called his broker, and they ended up selling all the corn there. And I ended up coming out pretty good. But let me tell you, boy, if you play commodities and you're like Richard Pryor trying to outrun the fire.
Anyway, it's
Anyone
all-
have any
it's all
tech
in the past now.
questions?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
For those of you who have just joined and have not been here before, this is a social time. And if you'd like to raise your hand and introduce yourself, a lot of the people here are here on a regular basis, but we certainly enjoy having and like to have new people join us and like to know who you are and maybe how you found out about us or what you're doing here. Carl, you have your hand up. Hi, Chris.
Chris is driving in a car. That's why I spotlighted her.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I'm not driving, Steve's,
Okay, yep.
Steve's driving, but yeah, we're in the car. I got a new phone, an iPhone 14 to go along with my iPhone SE and my Samsung, and I'm getting so confused. But what I depend on is my Google Voice number to ring on all three of them. And I use Google Fi for the service plan. Does anybody, and it used to be that Google Fi on an iPhone could not be hotspotted. And I just tried it and it can now, but I hear that maybe it cannot when you are international. Anybody have experience with that?
Lots of US tethering with different carriers, but no international.
Because Jim can hotspot his Pixel phone when we are international. It is a Google Fi, built for Google Fi phone. iPhones are not, but I can't find anything anywhere that says that you can't hotspot it internationally. But you used to not be able to hotspot it at all. So it's possible that that's true.
Well, what you can do is, a friend of mine did this recently, is a lot of the newer phones support not just a physical SIM chip, but also what they call an eSIM. And when you travel international, you can buy a temporary prepaid calling card that comes, they get one that comes with a hotspot feature, and it'll be like a 30-day prepaid card, and they'll load that onto your same cell phone. You won't need a different phone, and then you can use.
Yeah, but with Google Fi, we don't need that at all. Google Fi works internationally, no extra charge, and the iPhone 14 is eSIM only.
Oh,
so
is it?
You can't just pick up a physical SIM anywhere. Yeah, it is eSIM only. And Google Fi definitely works with the eSIM. We will be in the Bahamas in August, so I'll let you know.
Carl has his hand up.
Yeah, be safe out there, Chris and Bill and Jim. And we'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Carl.
Yeah, I love the video. I remember when a couple of years ago when I got my OnePlus phone, and it had video on it. Now I think the video used to be called Duo. I think it's called just Google Media or something. I forget what it's called.
Meet.
But it's exactly what.
Meet.
What's it called?
Google Meet.
Google Meet. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Thanks.
That takes care of everything.
Yeah. And I was I think I was the first to connect to and watch the Tech for Seniors in my car. And of course, you're not supposed to do video driving, but I couldn't resist trying it out. And I was amazed by the the quality of the video, unlike anything I had ever experienced before. It's better than what used to be 20 years ago when you had DSL lines to your office and everything. But the reason I popped in is that I tuned in. I thought maybe I was on a Vegas gambling net, and I was thinking that maybe Mike and GT were being their names are being written down over there in Nevada. That, is there some rules about using tools to assist in gambling? Well, you can train all you want, and you can go to training courses all you want. Usually when I would fly out to Nevada, I'd load a blackjack simulator, a craps simulator, and a roulette simulator on my phone. And then I'd play on the airplane, en route, just so that I would get, back in, and I could do my own theories and all the rest of that. But yeah, you're not supposed to be sitting at a table with a phone in front of you and using something to aid you in your betting.
One of the conferences I went to in Vegas, I don't gamble, but one of the people from a club in Florida said, if you're going into that hotel, would you please put $10 on 17? And he called me again to remind me, don't forget, put $10 on 17. So that morning after the second call from him, I went down, I placed 10 of his dollars and 10 of my dollars, and I walked out of there. We each made $350. That's the extent of my gambling that I did for the entire time I was in Vegas. But that's why I said, it's not always skill. Quite often it's luck.
Yeah, I was in New Jersey, and I was at the Trump Tower when it was open. And, after that storm we had, they had the big storm then. And I was taking pictures inside, and somebody grabbed my shoulder behind me. It was security. You could not take pictures, but you cannot have a cell phone in the casino.
These days you can. And if you wish, many casinos will let you record your play on the slot machines, but you need to do it properly. You need to go to security or to the slot club itself and say, I would like to record my sessions. And they'll either say yes or they'll say no.
Jim's got his hand up.
Yep.
Unmute.
Jim, you're muted.
Now he's gone.
No, he just,
No, he just moved.
There we
There he
go.
is. Okay.
Yeah, it's nice to be back. I spent a month in the hospital with a combination of a fall and COVID-19. So stay healthy, people. It's no fun.
Well, glad you're back.
As for Bob, I'm with Bob. I have never lost in Vegas because I don't gamble.
Yep.
Anyway, the reason I got my hand up is I'm now on my 4th Samsung Ultra. Glass the glitch finder strikes again. Any recommendations for anything other than a Samsung, if I can get them to give me a different phone besides that brand?
I like a Pixel.
What's going wrong with them?
I don't know. I go to their support, give them full control over the phone, and they say, take it into repair, so we'll get you a new one. This is literally the 4th time. I don't know. And they don't know, then they don't care, because apparently they just replace them.
Do they just go dead, Jim, or what's happening with them?
Yeah,
Well,
what are your symptoms?
a lot of the features that are in the original settings don't work. For example, if I was making a phone call, it would immediately, within maybe 20 seconds of my not doing anything, waiting, for the menu and all that, the screen goes black and I can't bring it up, even tapping on it. I've got it set for don't do a timeout for 10 minutes, and mine is within seconds. It has these personal features where you can set the phone so it does not lock while you're in a quote trusted place. I use my home. It should not lock while it's on your body and you're moving, which is usually all the time. That doesn't work. All of those little nifty customized features don't work. This morning, I was just trying to sign into something, and I hit the continue button and it didn't work. Making phone calls, sometimes they will go through, sometimes they won't. Sometimes I'm in the middle of a phone call and it disconnects. You want any more?
Yeah, it sounds like you have some issues.
One moment.
You could
Well,
try
it sounds
going
like you
down
have
one
some connectivity issues, as well as maybe your fingers are not conducive to a touch screen.
Yeah, but you're not hearing me. I gave full control to Verizon support where they were actually controlling my phone. I had nothing. I touched nothing.
That's Verizon. That's not the manufacturer.
Well, what can I say? I've got the Verizon contract. I'm going back to Verizon.
Do you
Anyway,
still give you a middle
is
level?
is there much difference? For example, if I wanted to go for say the Pixel 6 versus the brand new one, if they work a trade.
All of them are slightly different. All of them are pretty much the same. And that's about as much as you can say, because they all work on the same operating system, but each manufacturer has their own peculiarities or their own way of setting things up.
But
Well, I think
Pixel's
Bob, I
built
think
by
he said,
Pixel's built by Google, right? I mean,
Yes.
when I say that,
Yep.
it's under Google's name.
Correct.
So if I want a Pixel, it's going to be supposedly from Google, right?
That's
Yes.
correct.
So is there any reason other than being the latest kid on the block for paying more for the brand new phone versus, last year's model?
I have a Pixel 6. I don't know about a Pixel 7 because I bought my Pixel 6 and then not long afterwards, Pixel 7 came out and I was not going to upgrade again because I also have a Pixel 5.
I got a Pixel 6a off of Amazon. So it's already a couple years old and it's about half the original manufacturer's price, but it's new in box. And it's unlocked. So you could just take it to Verizon and say, put this on your network if that's who you want to stay with.
I
Joe
also
has his
have one
hand
of
up because
those.
we're getting close to the.
Yeah, we're getting close to the to time, and Joel's had his hand up. I'd like to get his question in too.
Okay. Well, thank you guys and ladies.
Joel?
I'm here, or did it click over?
I'm
Did I
sorry?
unmute?
Ask your question.
Yes, you're unmuted.
Okay, fine. I came across in one of the news listings that many of us got a name of a software company called Nearsoft, Nirsoft, and they were using an uninstall view program, not as an uninstaller, but as a computer inventory. In preparation for uninstalling, apparently it looks at your system and gives you a list of everything you've got, which becomes, to me, an additional good point in my backup collection. So if I have to go after things, I will remember it. Have any of you heard of Nearsoft?
It's been
or
around for quite
Uninstall
some
View?
time, Joel. That's not a brand new company. It's been around for quite some time.
Is there a problem using them that you know of?
I've never had a problem. No.
That's good information. Thank you for your help.
What was
Is
the
it-
name of that again?
Nearsoft.
Nearsoft.
Nirsoft. They have a dozen or more Windows utilities. I
Right.
don't see anything for the Apple frame. The one that was in the article that I looked for was called Uninstall View, currently at V1.5. It's marketed as an alternative to the Windows uninstaller. I didn't go after it for that, but in its loading and setup, it apparently takes an inventory of everything you've got.
Mhm.
And I plan on using that to put in my backup folders, backup lists, just in case I have to reload everything. This will help me know what did I have on my computer.
Can you-
Joel, if you
can
have
you
any more
put-
questions, or comments, we'll have to do it in the Q&A. It's time for me to mute all and get ready for the show.
Thank
So,
you for your help.
Yep. Well, good morning, everybody, and afternoon. I'm Hewie Poplock. This is Tech for Senior, June 26, 2023, episode 169. And as I said, I'm Hewie Poplock, and I'm your host today. Ron is still with family. I've been talking to him. He's been online with me, and he got the meeting started for me. And we'll see him next week. He'll be back for a couple of weeks, and then we'll take another couple of weeks to be with the rest of his family. So he'll be back. So don't fret. You don't have just me and Bob and the others, but he'll be back. This is a 1-hour show about technology with Q&A at the end. And today we're going to be talking about security, ribbons and quick access toolbar for the Microsoft products in both PCs and Macs, and safeguarding Windows against malware, EV or electric cars, part 8 on mobile apps for charging from Mike. And Ray will have his musical section at the end, and then we'll have our Q&A. So that's what's on store for today. I need to move quite quickly because we've got a long show today, and I don't want to run too much over because I think we may be a minute or two over. But I would like to introduce our staff. First, we've got Bob. How are you
Good
doing
morning.
today?
We'll do it quick and short. Nice day again to you today. Huey, go on to the next one.
Okay, Ray, how are things in Arizona?
Everything here is fine, where the weather is enjoyable, although the forecast is it's going to get a little bit hot, but that's what we're used to here.
And Bill James in Oklahoma.
It's warming up for us. It's 83 degrees. And good morning, everyone, or an afternoon.
Yep. Mike Ungerman. Say hello to everybody.
It's actually a beautiful full sun day, so I can sit here with a smile and charge my PHEV.
Yeah. And then we also have a guest with us today who's going to be doing one of the sessions, and that's Marcia Berkey. And Marcia, I see you're here. Say hello to everybody.
Hello, everyone. It's good to be here.
And so we're going to have a section from her on the Microsoft products, and I think you'll get a lot out of that if you use any of those. So don't forget, we're in our 4th year of Tech for Senior. By all means, invite others. We like to have, we've got room for others. We've got some people on our YouTube channel watching as well. The YouTube channel is with us until about 55 minutes before the hour, when we have to cut it off because we're going to be doing the musical section. And those people can join us if there's room, and there usually is, to come over to the Zoom meeting if they would like. But in the meantime, you can be watching us on YouTube. Don't forget, the Thursday, we have the Tech for Senior Live. That's Thursday mornings, or actually we start at noon Eastern time, and then mornings for the rest of you. And be sure to subscribe to our newsletter. We're getting better and better articles and more interesting information in them. And it comes out every Saturday and every Tuesday. So there's 2 newsletters a week, and it's free. Like all of what we do is free. So we don't make any money at it either. We do request that if you feel you're getting something out of it to help our expenses, we do have our coffee fund, and you can get to that on our website. And I'll put our website in the chat during the show as well. And today we have a premiere service where we're going to have what to do with cookie banners by Bob G. Should you purchase a cable modem, Ron Brown, and then I'm doing one of the premiere videos, Google Maps Street View. And so those will be the 3 in the premiere video. I posted the link to the premiere video in the chat box. I'll do it again if anyone joined after I posted it. With that, I think we're in good shape to get started. Bob, you're up first with your security.
Let's get rolling. Here is my security news roundup for the week ending June 23rd, 2023. 100,000 plus stolen ChatGPT account credentials sold on dark web marketplaces. Over 101,100 compromised OpenAI ChatGPT account credentials have found their way on illicit dark web marketplaces between June 2022 and May 2023, with India alone accounting for 12,632 stolen credentials. The credentials were discovered within information stealer logs made available for sale on the cybercrime underground. Group IB said in a report shared with the Hacker News. The number of available logs containing compromised ChatGPT accounts reached a peak of 26,802 in May of 2023. The Singapore headquartered company said. Read more at thehackernews.com. Update your ASUS Wi-Fi router right now. If you've dropped a pretty penny on a gaming-grade Wi-Fi router from ASUS or just one of its more expensive models, you need to update the firmware right away. That's according to a security bulletin from ASUS itself, which says that older firmware contains critical vulnerabilities. Routers from the Republic of Gamers GT and GS series, the cheaper TUF and RT series, and the Zen Wi-Fi mesh systems are affected. According to Bleeping Computer, there are 2 vulnerabilities patched in the latest router firmware, both of which could be used to gain arbitrary code execution. Read more at PCWorld.com. Apple releases patches for actively exploited flaws in iOS, macOS, and Safari. Apple on Wednesday released a slew of updates for iOS, iPad OS, Mac OS, Watch OS, and Safari browser to address a set of flaws it said were actively exploited in the wild. This includes a pair of 0 days that have been weaponized in a mobile surveillance campaign called Operation Triangulation that has been active since 2019. The exact threat actor behind the activity is not known. The sophisticated implant operates solely in the memory, leaving no traces of the activity following a device reboot. It also comes with diverse data collection and tracking capabilities. Read more at thehackernews.com. Apple to automatically assign each user a passkey. Apple is taking a big step to end traditional passwords by automatically enrolling users into the industry alternative known as passkeys. The company plans to do so when it launches iOS 17, iPad OS 17, and Mac OS Sonoma later this year, likely around September. Once they roll out, the operating system will automatically assign a passkey to the user's Apple ID, the company says. This means users won't have to type in their Apple ID or password when signing into an Apple website. Instead, they can simply scan their fingerprint, face, or type in a PIN code to unlock access, much like how existing smartphones can work. Read more at PCMag.com. NSA releases guide to combat Black Lotus bootkit targeting Windows systems. The U.S. National Security Agency on Thursday released guidance to help organizations detect and prevent infections of a unified extensible firmware interface, bootkit, called Black Lotus. To that end, the agency is recommending that infrastructure owners take action by hardening user executable policies and monitoring the integrity of the boot partition. Black Lotus is an advanced crimeware solution that was first spotlighted in October of 2022 by Kaspersky, a UEFI bootkit capable of bypassing Windows secure boot protections. Samples of the malware have since emerged in the wild. Read more at thehackernews.com. New cryptocurrency mining campaign targets Linux systems and IoT devices. Internet-facing Linux systems and Internet of Things devices are being targeted as part of a new campaign designed to illicitly mine cryptocurrency. The threat actors behind the attack use a backdoor that deploys a wide array of tools and components, such as rootkits and an IRC bot, to steal device resources for mining operations. Microsoft's threat intelligence researcher, Radom SDE, said, the backdoor also installs a patched version of OpenSSH on affected devices, allowing threat actors to hijack SSH credentials, move laterally within the network, and conceal malicious SSH connections. To pull off the scheme, misconfigured Linux hosts are brute-forced to gain initial access, following which the threat actors move to disable shell history and fetch a Trojanized version of OpenSSH from a remote server. Read more at hackernews.com. Millions of GitHub repositories likely vulnerable to repo jacking attack. Millions of software repositories on GitHub are likely vulnerable to an attack called repo jacking, a new study has revealed. This includes repositories from organizations such as Google, Lyft, and several others. Massachusetts-based cloud-native security firm Aqua said in a Wednesday report. The supply chain vulnerability, also known as dependency repository hijacking, is a class of attack that makes it possible to take over retired organizations or usernames and publish Trojanized versions of repositories to run malicious code. Read more at thehackernews.com. This week's must-see on my YouTube channel. Today we'll explore a bit of nature. I've been a VP of this labor of love since 2010. Our 35-acre park is coming together, and the increase in wildlife is a testament of that. Please watch my video on that topic at the link listed. Did you know? No one knows how William Shakespeare's name was really spelled, and neither did he. Sources from William Shakespeare's lifetime spell his last name in more than 80 different ways. The CIA headquarters has its own Starbucks, but baristas don't write names on the cups. Laughter helps you put everything into perspective, thanks to Jim Henson. Few will have the greatness to bend history itself, but each of us can work to change a small portion of events. And in the total of all those acts will be written the history of this generation. Thanks to Bobby Kennedy. Just thought you might want to know. And that's a wrap for this week's Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure. I'll see you again next week. And thanks for listening and watching. Bye-bye.
Boy, they just keep coming, don't they, Bob?
Every single week. More to report on.
Marcia's going to be next, and I'll go ahead and play your video, Marcia. And Marcia will be available in the Q&A at the end to answer any questions. And
Also, just one thing. I'm going to put in the chat a link to Microsoft. You can have up to 6 people on an account for $99.99 a year, and they don't have to be in the same household. And I just thought some people might want to know that. So I'll put a link to that in the chat.
Okay.
Today, I wanted to share with you how to learn more about and how to customize the ribbons or tabs used for the Microsoft Office programs, things like Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, and other programs within their suite. What I will focus on is Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, but it works in all of the Microsoft applications just about the same way. Learning this method of learning a new program will also help you in other programs. So let's get started. All of the programs have the same ribbon or tab headings at the top of their window. Then within the ribbon, it will have groups, and within a group, it will have individual tools. Let's take a look at the ribbon headings, the ribbon or tabs. I'll probably be calling it ribbon because that's the first term that it came out with, but you could also say tabs. So on the ribbons, if you can think about what do you want to do? If you want to put anything into your document or your spreadsheet or your presentation or PowerPoint, then you would probably go to the insert ribbon. And on this ribbon, it's going to have different groupings of things. So if you wanted to put tables into your, in this case, Word document, you go to the table group, and here are more tools on tables. If you wanted to put things onto the page, you would go to the pages group, illustrations, add-ins, media, links, comments, header and footer, which are found at the very top or bottom of every page, text, etc. So you can, if you want to put it into, you go to the insert. The home ribbon is pretty much basic word processing, in this case, tools. And in it, you have your clipboard. We could do a whole program on just on the clipboard. Fonts. This is a special add-in. Paragraphs, styles, editing, voice, editor, and so forth. Within a group, let's take a look at the paragraph group. You have all the tools that do anything with paragraphs. So here are bullets, numbers. As I hold my cursor over the tool, a tooltip will pop up and tell me what it does. And if there is a shortcut for it, for example, if I go to align left, the shortcut for that is Control L on Windows. It would be Command L on Mac. Align center, align right, and so on. Everything to do with a paragraph is within this group, and for every single group. There are certain ribbons that are context sensitive. So if I go to insert and I insert a shape and just draw a shape, and then I double click that, it opens up the shape format ribbon, and all of these tools deal with the shape, bringing it forward, the position, wrapping text, the fill, the outline, everything to do with shapes. If I did an image, so if I go to insert pictures, I choose this device or any other, and I chose an image, then the picture format will come up, and I can change the wrap text to square so that I can move it around, put it any place that I want it, or all other kinds of styles. Anything to do with pictures will be on this picture format. You can even hold down the Shift tab and you can go back and forth between the shape or the picture in case you're putting them together. You may want to create your own customized ribbon. And to do that, you can go to File, Options, and then Customize Ribbon. And then you can see that I already have common commands here. If I wanted to rename it, I can right-click and rename. I can change the position of wherever this shows. I put it on the end so it would be a little less confusing to you. And over here, then I'd like to choose, you can look at popular commands or all commands. I like to see what's really in there. If I click over here and then type the letter of a command that I want to go to, and I want the read aloud tool in my common commands. So read aloud is selected here. Common commands is selected here. Now I've chosen my tool. Now I need to add it to a group. It doesn't really fit in any of these groups. So now I can select new group, and I could add a new group to any of my other tabs if I wanted to as well. I can right click, rename this group. I can just put a symbol, or I'll call this reading for now. I can always change it later. Now I can choose read aloud to reading custom and add in. Now when I click OK, right here is the tool. To test that, we can just put in a random text, so equals rand, and we put in how many paragraphs we want. I'll do 4. And it puts in 4 paragraphs for us. And when I click read aloud,
video provides a powerful way to help you prove your point. When you click online video, you can paste in the embed.
So over here are play and pause tools, are forward or back. So any text that you wanted to, it would read aloud to you. And I don't have to go looking for it. I can just come to common commands and read aloud. You can do that again, as I said, in any of these groups that you want to. You can add special tools, or you can make your own on customize ribbon. Now, the quick access toolbar is quite a bit the same. So it normally shows on the bottom. You can right click on that. You can say show quick access toolbar above the ribbon. That actually will hold more than below, it looks like. I'm going to turn off the read aloud. And it comes with just a few tools on here. I like to put things that I use often on here. So again, you would just click on the drop down arrow. You can turn on tools that it automatically has for you, or ones that you've added. Now, to add more, you just go to more commands, and it acts the same way. You look under which commands you want to choose from, not on the ribbon, all commands, macros, popular commands, and then you'll scroll down to find whichever tool that you want to put and paste, and then we'll just add it. And it says for all documents, or you can just say for the document you're working on. So we'll add paste special. I'll say okay, and right there is paste special. So both your customized ribbon and your quick access toolbar are designed to give you tools at your fingertips that you don't have to go looking for them. Of course, you may forget where they are if you don't go looking for them anymore, but you have them right there. So whatever program that you're trying to learn how to use, try to get familiar with the menus or the tabs or ribbons, however they're called, and what's within that one tab or menu, and then how are they sorted within those menus or ribbons or tabs. and it will pay off for you so much. It'll save you so much time. I hope that was helpful. See you next time.
And then I'm muted. A lot of good information there. Thank you very much, Marcia. She'll be available to answer some questions during the Q&A. One of the things I like to use the footer for all of my documents is I like to put where I have it stored on my computer. So if I have to bring it up again, I can just look in the footer, and there is where I've stored it and what I've called that file. So it's a good use of a footer, even if you don't normally put something in a footer. All right, I'll turn it over now to Bill, and Bill's going to talk about some things about malware and Windows. Bill?
Hewie, I need to be able to share my screen.
Oh, didn't I give that to you? Sorry about that.
No problem.
Where are you? Oh, you're sending his bill. Okay, I was looking under William. There we go. You should be good.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. We're going to talk about safeguarding Windows against malware using some of the built-in tools that are available in your operating system that you may not be aware of. Microsoft offers two malware scanning tools for Windows. The Microsoft Malicious Software Removal Tool, or the commonly known as MSRT, and the one that you may not know is the Microsoft Safety Scanner. The Microsoft Safety Scanner is less known, and it's a scans tool designed to find and remove malware from Windows computers. It's a portable executable that scans on demand, and it doesn't appear in the Windows Start menu or as an icon on your desktop. The Malicious Software Removal Tool and the Microsoft Scanner are both weapons in their arsenal of cybersecurity. It's designed to protect your digital lives from the ever-evolving threats lurking in the shadows of the digital realm. The MSRT is a free utility that scans, detects, and removes prevalent malicious software from Windows-based systems. It's released on a regular basis as part of the Windows update, and the MSRT acts as a silent signal, tirelessly searching for and neutralizing threats that may have found their way into your computer. The scanner is a standalone, on-demand that can be downloaded and run when needed, providing a thorough analysis of your system to detect and remove malware that may have invaded the regular security measures. Its versatility and portability makes it an invaluable tool, capable of operating alongside existing antivirus software or as a secondary opinion when doubts arise. The MSERT is a free utility offered by Microsoft designed to protect you from the ever-evolving threats lurking in the digital realm. The main difference between the Microsoft Malicious Software Removal Tool and the Microsoft Safety Scanner is that the MSRT only removes specific malwares that are prevalent or high risk, while the MSERT can remove all known malware at the time of download. Another difference is that the MSRT is released monthly as part of the Windows Update or as a standalone tool, while the MSRET is a portable tool that does not require installation or updates. Both tools can scan and remove malware from Windows computers, but they have different scopes and purposes. The MSRT is more suitable for routine checks and removal of common threats, while the MSRET is more suitable for emergency situations and removal of all kinds of threats. Careful comparison of the two descriptions shows them to be more alike than different. Further perusal of the MSERT doc page helps to zero on the important differences, as it reads, the safety scanner only scans when manually triggered and is available for use 10 days after being downloaded. They recommend that you always download the latest version of this tool before each scan. The major difference between the two, as you can see, is currency. By the third week of the month, a new version of MSRET should be available, whereas MSRT changes only once a month. Thus, you should always, again, download the latest version before each scan. This spells the key differences between the two tools. You want to download the Microsoft Scanner and run the scan to find malware and try to reverse changes made by the identified threats. There are two versions available, the 32-bit and 64. Most newer computers are 64-bit, so that would be the version that you would download. The Security Intelligence Update version of the Microsoft Safety Scanner will match the version described on the download page. And the Safety Scanner only scans when manually triggered, and the Safety Scanner expires 10 days after being downloaded. So there again, remember, you always want to download the latest version. To run it, you download the tool and open it, select the type of scan you want to run, and start the scan. Review the scan results displayed on the screen. And then for a detailed detection results, you can view the log by entering a run command with that string. To remove the tool, you delete the executable file, which is identified as msert.exe by default. To rerun the scan with the latest anti-malware definitions, you download the tool again and run the scanner. Like clockwork, Microsoft also issues Windows security and bug fix updates on the second Tuesday of each month. Over time, this day of the month has become known as Patch Tuesday or Update Tuesday. These updates flow through the Windows Update facility. Patch Tuesday includes an item named Windows Malicious Software Removal Tool, or also known as MSRT. As part of the normal update drill for most Windows users, the MSRT gets run every Tuesday as a matter of routine. That means that many, if not most, Windows desktops get an obligatory malware check and repair run at least once a month. MSRT can be run on its own, but is not required or used in that way very often. If you want to do a manual run of MSRT, in the search box, type run, or you can use the shortcut Windows key plus R to open the Run app. And in the provided box, type in MRT, say yes to accept the changes to this device, then click Next to scan for and help remove specific malicious software from your computer. The next window, choose the type of scan you want to run, quick scan, full scan, or custom scan. Click Next to begin the scan. Here's some screenshots which you might find in your Windows, your File Explorer. The first one, it shows the knowledge base installation. The second one shows the download of the executable for the Windows software scan. It's kind of amusing and also confusing, and you probably already identified that the name of these two tools differ only by the letter E in the middle of the name string. One is MSRT and the other one is MSERT. But that said, they're different tools, though they serve essentially the same purpose. If a user needs to run a manual virus scan and repair tool on a potentially infected PC, it makes sense to use the Microsoft Safety Scanner for that purpose. These tools will not replace your anti-malware products. For real-time protection with automatic updates, you'll want to use the Microsoft Defender antivirus on Windows 11, 10, 8, or the Microsoft Security Essentials on Windows 7. These anti-malware products provide free, powerful malware removal capabilities. If you want to compare these tools with the popular Malwarebytes, you'll find that Malwarebytes is a comprehensive anti-malware software designed to detect and remove a wide range of malware, including viruses, ransomware, adware, potentially unwanted programs, are known as PUPs. Malwarebytes provides real-time protection, scheduled scans, and a wide range of advanced features to safeguard systems from various threats. The Microsoft Malicious Software Removal Tool is a tool that targets and removes prevalent malware infections from Windows-based systems. It focuses on specific types of malicious software known to be widespread and actively poses a threat to users. The Safety Scanner is an on-demand scanning tool offered by Microsoft, and it focused specifically on detecting and removing prevalent malware that may have evaded regular security measures. It is not designed for real-time protection, but serves as a secondary scanner to complement existing antivirus software or for occasional system scans. In summary, Microsoft offers two malware scanning tools for Windows: the Microsoft Malicious Software Removal Tool and the Microsoft Safety Scanner. Both Malwarebytes, the Windows Malicious Software Removal Tool, and the Microsoft Safety Scanner are valuable tools in the fight against malware. Malwarebytes offers more comprehensive and feature-rich solution for real-time protection, while the MSRT specifically targets prevalent malware as a supplemental tool. On the other hand, Microsoft Safety Scanner is an on-demand scanning tool provided by Microsoft, focusing on the detection and the removal of prevalent malware as a secondary option or a supplemental scanner. Neither will MSRT or MSERT provide real-time protection or advanced features beyond their scanning capabilities. To do so, you may want to choose Microsoft Defender Antivirus or Malwarebytes for continuous protection, while the Windows Malicious Software Removal Tool and the Microsoft Safety Scanner serves as an additional tool for occasional scanning needs. Back to Hewie.
Thanks, Bill. So there's lots of tools that we have to protect ourselves. Go ahead. There you go. Now stop the sharing. There we go. And so there's lots of tools out there to counteract a lot of what Bob tells us every week. And there's a lot more. And a lot of you use your own antivirus programs and anti-malware. But that was a good comprehensive talk on the ones that Microsoft includes. So thank you. Very good. All right. Next is Mike. And Mike, I will set this up for you.
All right.
Share. And Mike also will be available in the Q&A to answer any questions.
Hi, I'm Mike Ungerman of the Central Florida Computer Society. Today, we'll continue with the 8th in a series on electric vehicles and the 3rd on EV charging. Our last EV presentation covered the use of Level 3 public and commercial charging. Today, we'll expand on that subject by going over online resources, commercial network mobile apps, navigation mobile apps, and independent apps and social media. If you saw my last presentation, you've seen these images before. They still represent the two major types of commercial networks: Tesla superchargers and all other commercial DC charging networks using the CHAdeMO or CCS standards. Many of the latter also have Level 2 AC charging available as well. Today's presentation is applicable to all commercial Level 2 and 3 charging. I reviewed many of the non-Tesla commercial companies that provide Level 3 public charging in my last presentation. Let's look at the latest ChargePoint and their mobile app as an example of most of them. Here is the ChargePoint website. Let's take a look at a short video explaining their methods of charging an EV and using their mobile app.
Hi everyone, I'm Lucia from ChargePoint, and I'm going to show you how simple it is to charge any electric vehicle using ChargePoint. To get started, create a free account online or in the app. It's super fast and easy. Once you're signed up, there's 3 ways you can charge: with your phone, with the app, or with your card. You can charge as soon as you sign up using your phone. Drivers agree it's the easiest way to charge. Setting up Tap to Charge will be different depending on if you have an iPhone or an Android. The app will walk you through all of it. Once you're set up, tap your phone right over the RFID reader. Make sure your screen is on for Android and your fingers on Touch ID for iPhone. Listen for the beep and the click that unlocks the connector. Just unplug it from the station right here. Go ahead and open your port door and plug it in. And you're charging. Double check to make sure your car is charging before you head off. Most EVs have indicator lights on the dashboard to let you know if you're charging. You can also check your charging status anytime in the mobile app or on the station. That's it. You can go about your day. No need to stand around and wait for your car to charge. Make sure to enable notifications in the mobile app so we can send you a reminder when you're done charging. Once you're done charging or have as much range as you need, just tap your phone right over the RFID reader to stop charging. You'll hear the beep. Unplug the connector from your car and plug it back into the station. And that's it. Charging your electric car is really that easy. I'm gonna head off and grab some coffee. You guys stay tuned for more EV videos.
Now let's take a look at the ChargePoint Android app as I installed it on my Pixel 6a phone. And I'm not already a member, so I had to first establish my account. Typical sign-up screens. Got to verify my account. Choosing where I intend to use the account, in public or with their home charge, which I don't have. How I will pay for my charge. Note that I can tie this account in with my Google Pay if I wish, a fully mobile transaction. In the video we just watched, similar direction on how to use the app at the charging station. Note that I have to turn on near field communication, which I normally don't have on all the time for security purposes. Now I can configure the app for my vehicle. I've set it up for my Kia Niro plug-in hybrid. I'll enable notifications. I'll allow location access so I can get location information on their charging stations. I can filter out their charging stations not relevant to my vehicle if I wish. Now we see a map near my present location. The gray point on the map, shown here, is one of ChargePoint's charging stations near me. Since my Kia Niro doesn't support level 3 charging, I have the option to select only those connectors that I can use. Here, I have selected a level 1 wall outlet and a level 2 J1772 connector. You can see the DC fast charging stations also available, which I might use at some point in the future if I purchase a full battery electric vehicle. A Fisker interests me at the moment. Now we're back to the map, and I'm getting some green icons that match my charging requirements. I further refine my filters to only show me chargers reported as available. Here, I've requested the details of the chargers that are shown to be available. Note that the first one is a free charger at a retail establishment. Second 2 will require payment. Back to the map, and I've turned on the satellite view. This gives me a better understanding of where the charging points are actually located. back to my account screen and note some of the features that are available to me. One of them, Connections, provides some promotional discounts that I can take advantage of. I can become a VIP if I wish. And then there are various different types of connections that are available to me. Although the charging companies have location finding capabilities, the major mapping applications, both on computers and on mobile apps, have the ability to find charging stations as well as help plan your routes based on where you might want to charge your EV. Let's take a look at Google and Waze mapping applications. I didn't look at Apple Maps. It's similar, but I don't have access to it. So Google Maps has long provided references to points of interest along map routing. Recently, they've added EV charging stations to their capabilities. I put in the World Golf Renaissance Village in St. Augustine, a trip that I planned from my home in the Orlando area. I'm using this trip as mapped out on Google Maps to see where I could charge my Kia Niro. Here's the route of approximately 113 miles. My Kia, when fully charged, provides 26 miles of pure EV before switching into hybrid mode. If I want to have a full battery for the return trip, I'm going to have to recharge at my destination. I can filter Google's search results by the type of charging plug that I want. Here I've chosen my J1772 plug. You can see the other charging plugs supported in the search if I had a full battery electric vehicle. Back to the mapping screen, I've already chosen my destination and put in the query EV charging stations. You can see that 2 have been identified. I have moused over the top one and I see the information at the bottom of my screen. A street view of the charging station can be obtained. For the first one, it looks like it's out in the country somewhere. This additional view is a little better. It appears to be either at a hotel or commercial building. This picture actually shows me the charging point. You can see it over here in the corner. I'd have to drive to it and check out to see whether activities are nearby if I want to spend the time to recharge. Given that I have a full hybrid capabilities for my return trip, I'll likely not do so. But if this was a BEV, I'd have to find another location. Now, let's compare Waze's EV support. Although Google now owns Waze, the display and information can be different. Here I get this prompt to customize my settings. And I can turn these features on. And as in Google, select my charging plugs. I'll compare Waze's results for the same trip I put in Google Maps. Note that there's an EV charging station icon pictured to add a stop. Here's my route. And now I'm going to have to add a search for the charging stations. It didn't automatically put them on the route. The results do show more stations, and 2 of them match what I previously found. Here we have World Golf Village and a couple down here at this intersection. One at World Golf Village and a Tesla station, even though I had filtered out my plug. Here's details of one location I'd likely select for my Kia. It's at a business. I don't know exactly what's around it. I'll have to do some additional searching to see if this is a place that I would want to actually go and do while my car is charging. There is an independent Android app combining mapping and route planning for EVs. It's called a Better Route Planner, ABRP. It doesn't have the best reviews on Google Play, 2.9 stars, but it might be worth considering. Better Route Planner combines many of the route planning features of major mapping apps. They want access to my location. They let me select my vehicle. And again, I put in my trip to St. Augustine. This map display shows me all of the charging stations that they're aware of between my starting location and my destination. I've zoomed into the locations that are nearby, and you can see I have a Gate Petroleum Florida Power and Light Evolution station that did not come up on one of my previous searches. And it gives me a close-up of what the app actually looks like. Social media is playing a much bigger share in finding EV charging station. PlugShare is one of the sites that is available. It's a combination mapping and social media, EV Finder, and interactive payment application. By being interactive, its users can check in at the charging stations they find on the app and report their experiences. Here you can see the availability of PlugShare on Google Play. It may well be available on Apple. I did not double check. Once again, you can see all of the stations that are identified when I bring up the map. I put in World Golf Village. Here's the route with the charging stations depicted en route. Filters that I can put in, again, changing the outlet. And I definitely have public stations selected. This one lets me choose the charging networks if I wish. And has a couple of pages of those. All right, we're now zoomed in to the World Golf Village and Renaissance Village, and you can see two of the charging stations shown. Here's the dermatology station we found previously. Another one, DJ Capital, investment location apparently. And if I zoom in on DJ Capital, you can see that they're telling me what the cost may well be. It's just apparently a flat $2 per hour charging. And they're telling me, as of the time I took the screenshot, that my plug is available on 2 stations, but at the moment, 1 station is available and 1 is offline. Note here that the social media aspects are now available to me at a station located near a Best Western in St. Augustine. And they're saying that I can leave a check-in with a positive rating or a negative rating. And you can see the ratings that have been previously posted for these stations. They also use what they call leaderboards, which, and the social media site, they designate people as explorers, where people have check-ins in the last 30 days. Heroes, ranked by number of check-ins at share, this one says at a shared home charger. And scouts, ranked by the number of stations added to the network. Oliver apparently has added to the network 6,572 stations. Quite an achievement. PlugShare has some additional features, and they have an extensive help file. You can navigate with PlugShare. You can actually set up an account and pay with PlugShare, and there are archived PlugShare resources. One of the bigger social media sites is Twitter. They serve many purposes. One of them is to support those attempting to find nearby EV charging stations and their status. The Twitter account, Rate Your Charge, is one Twitter account that supports this function. Rate Your Charge, and this is the Twitter account. And it is brought to you by the team of Out of Spec, which is a YouTube channel doing extensive ratings of EV sites. At the moment, they've got 8,363 followers, so they have a bit of a way to go. Rate Your Charge does come out with a weekly newsletter, and you get a weekly report at this link tweeted out. So if you follow them, you'll get this, and you can see that they will rate satisfaction and availability for Tesla's, ChargePoint, EVgo, all other stations, and Electrify America. This is just an example of the weekly newsletter, which at the present time is online, and I don't believe you can sign up for it. Here's an example of a tweet posted by one of the members of Rate Your Charge, and he's saying he's getting slow speeds at this particular network in this particular location. Another one near a Best Buy and Sporting Goods in Seattle, and another one in Michigan on a Tesla supercharger. So that's a good example of the types that are available. I've archived a number of YouTube videos which support my reference for EV presentations. The URL for the site is available in periodic Saturday Tech for Senior newsletters. If you're going to be using public level 2 and 3 chargers, you will likely use one or more mobile apps to support your search for a charging station and the process of charging your EV and paying for the use of the charger. Recently, General Motors and Ford announced that future EVs will be manufactured with the Tesla North American Charging Standard interface, or provide an adapter until their vehicles are so produced. Many other EV manufacturers are likely to follow suit. Tesla's in the process of providing adapters on their supercharger network for EVs with CCS charging. So this pretty much wraps up my sub-presentations, if you will, on charging. My next EV presentations will start a review of the makes and models of electric vehicles.
You're muted, Hewie.
Yep. Very good, Mike. It just amazes me. I didn't realize that there were that many charging stations out there. And I see more and more articles showing that Tesla is going to have dual charging at their stations for more and more car manufacturers. So I think eventually it'll be like a gas station. You can go in wherever there is one, and you'll be able to charge your car no matter which car you have.
Now, the key factor is what time frame eventually actually is.
Yep. At this point, I want to say thank you for everybody who has been on YouTube, and I am going to end the YouTube live feed. If you want to join us for the music and for the Q&A, by all means, there is room in the Zoom